channel, so this video is particularly exciting to me because I am going to show you guys and play around with the new Makeup Forever foundations that they are coming out with. I don't know if they launched it already by the time I post this video up, but as of right now they aren't launched. So they were so kind enough to invite me to their preview party, so I was able to kind of play around with the product. So if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, that's where I posted everything up while I was there at their event. So again, if you guys aren't following me, you guys really should. I will of course link it here as well as in the description box. But on the eyes, I use the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. So I'm going to stop rambling and we're just going to jump right into the video. Well, you know, not here, but over here. Okay, I know I look crazy, but how are you guys feeling about this new background? I know it looks a little skimpy, but I think it's super pretty with the flowers and the little candle like normal YouTubers. I felt like the bed background that I always had was getting a little bit old and I needed to change it up just a little bit. So also let me guys know, what do you think about the lighting, about the quality of the videos, because I am changing up a little bit of things. But enough about that. So I did go into Sephora and I picked up a couple of new products, but for moisturizer I used my holy grail Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. So I just apply that all over my skin. So the first new thing that we are going to be going into is the HourGlass Veil Mineral Primer. I got a sample of this when I bought their Veil Powder and I absolutely fell in love with it. I love the way that it makes my skin feel. It honestly makes your skin feel like silk. So what I'm going to do with this is you only need one pump. So that primer does not claim to be pore filling or anything like that. It really just makes my skin super smooth and ready for makeup application after. But I still do want a pore filling primer, so I'm gonna go into my holy grail. Actually, this is the Benefit Porefessional. Now for foundation, I'm going to be going into the Makeup Forever brand new foundation that honestly has not even launched yet. They're calling it a modern matte foundation, and I don't have the product. They are actually going to be sending it to me, I believe Tuesday, but I really wanted to get this video up. So now you're asking yourself, it hasn't launched, you don't have the product, how are you feeling the video using the product? They actually invited me to their product preview event. I was able to kind of play around with the product and learn a little bit more about it, and they actually sent me off with a little bit of a sample. Now the shade that I am in this foundation is Y455. Now I do have their Ultra HD foundation, which is absolutely my holy grail product, and let me just get it for you guys because I am in different shades in both of these. The Ultra HD foundation, I'm in the shade Y435. It did kind of alter the shades a little bit, so I will say if you are interested in getting a shade in their new foundation, whatever shade you are in the Ultra HD is a really good start. The way I'm going to apply this is just go in with a little brush and just swipe this on my face. Now I do have a couple of comments about the foundation that I think is important for you guys to know. It is definitely not dewy and it's definitely not completely matte. It's exactly what they say. It's a modern matte. Now if you are comparing this foundation to like the NARS Natural Radiant, it's more matte than that. That one is a little bit more like dewy, but this is more natural dew. Now because I don't actually have the actual final product packaging to show you guys, I'm going to put up a little bit of a video here of when I was there at the event, and the product is actually in a squeezy tube bottle. I don't like squeezy tubes. Personally, I do wish the foundation was in a glass bottle with a pump, but honestly, if you are a working makeup artist, the squeezy tube is so much more convenient for you. It's super easy to travel with. It's not going to take up a lot of space and it's not going to be super heavy in your kit, and it's not going to break. Now finally, moving on to concealer, I picked up the new Too Faced Born This Way concealer. The shade that I got is Tan. I honestly love the packaging of this. I have been using this for a little bit. It's definitely giving Tarte Shape Tape a run for their money, but I don't think that I would go to the extent and say that it's completely going to replace my Tarte Shape Tape. It's definitely a bomb ass concealer, but I still like my Tarte Shape Tape just a little bit more. By the way, I'm so sorry if I keep looking down that way. It's only because that's where my mirror is and I really can't see anywhere else. Honestly, such a good concealer. If you guys are interested in buying it, you're not wasting your money. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to quickly set everything using my HourGlass Veil Translucent Powder. I am actually going to use whatever is left on the cap and just set the rest of my face. Now moving on to bronzer. When I went into Sephora, I was on a mission to buy a new bronzer. And honestly, I was going to pick up the Anastasia new bronzers that they came out with. But then I went over to the Sephora section and I saw their matte perfecting powder foundations. And I saw this shade. This is in the color Neutral Mocha. And I was like, this would be a bomb ass bronzer, and it's only $20 as opposed to paying like $30 for one bronzer. I'll be honest, I low-key kind of think that it's just a little too orange to be like a bronzer, but at the same time, like, I feel like it's a good color. I don't even know at this point, so just kind of like vote up here. But outside of like the color as a bronzer, I do think these are really good face powders. If you are on the market of buying a new one, definitely try these out. For blush, I don't have anything new, so I'm just going to be going into my Wet n Wild Color Iconic blush in the color Mellow Wine. Oh, I love these blushes. For highlighter, I'm going into my Nikkie Tutorials and Ofra Cosmetics collab, and I'm going to be taking the gold shade. I believe it's called Glow Glows. Face is officially done. I'm going to go in and set everything using my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. 24 hours later, and one of my eyes are finally done. This is just a little bit of a preview of what we're going to be doing, and I used the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette for this look. But the first thing we're going to be doing is going into Desert Sand, and I'm going to be applying this all over my lid just to kind of buff out any of the creasing that I have going on my lid right now. The first color we're taking is Amber here, and I'm just using the shade as my transition color. The second color that we're going into is Saffron. I'm going to be placing the shadow the same place we put our transition shade, just a little bit lower. I'm going back in with that first brush that we used, and I'm going to use that to just buff out the edges that are closer to my brow bone. Now to incorporate the purple, I'm going into Amethyst here, and I'm really packing the shadow onto the brush. I'm just going to first pack the color on that outer V and then blend it up and out into that outer V and upper crease. I'm going back in with the second blendy brush that we used, and I'm going to use this to buff out the outer corner edges as well as into that inner corner. I'm taking a little bit of her darker shade in her palette just to kind of deepen up the outer corners just a little bit. What I'm going to quickly do is go in with a little bit of concealer into a half cut crease. And while that concealer is still wet, I'm going to be taking my finger and going into the shade Twilight. I did change my mind and go in with the brush just because I want a little bit more control. I'm going back into that dark shade in her palette, and I'm just going to pat this on that little seam of that cut crease. And of course, with my little trick, I'm going in with a small pencil brush with the darker shade, and I'm just going to lightly go over the cut crease. For my lower lash line, this is going to be super quick. I'm going into the darker shade and the purple and just mixing them together, and I'm just going to blow out my lower lash line with these two shadows. For my brow bone and inner corner highlight, I'm going to be going into Nefertiti. I don't think I'm saying that right. I'm going to quickly apply some black liner in my waterline, the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the color Whatever Black. So I'm going to go off camera and apply some lashes and a ton of mascara. For lashes, I am using my House of Lashes in the style Temptress Wisp. And for mascara, I'm going into my Lancome Monsuire Big. Okay, lashes and mascara are finally on. I did go in and line my lips with my Wet n Wild Gel Lip Liner in the color Gone Burgundy. Love this lip liner. I've gone through two already at this point. So for lipstick, I'm going to be going into this little mini Bite Beauty lipstick. And this is in the shade Chai. So this is basically it for this video. If you guys want to see more of me, which wouldn't be so much of a bad thing, don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, comment down below, and also please subscribe if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is always linked down below in the description box. Bye!